What's going on, people? My name is Antoine, this is ATM Tech, and welcome to the channel. So for the past week or so, I've been test driving the Z Flip 3, getting ready to put out my full review, which will be out pretty soon. So if you're not subbed already, make sure you do to check that out. But in my time using the phone and folding it and unfolding it over and over again, I started to notice it had a bit of an uncanny appearance to a slightly older device. Any guesses what that might be? Now, chances are those of you 25 and under probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but this phone really started to remind me of the Gameboy Advance SP edition, which got me thinking, how would the Z Flip 3 fare as a portable emulation gaming device? Well, in today's video, we're going to find out. Let's go. Now, the reason why I was really drawn to the Z Flip 3 in terms of emulation is just the way that the phone folds in half. So you can have essentially your screen at the top and your buttons at the bottom. So in essence, that actually makes things a lot easier. So normally with emulation, you might want to connect up a Bluetooth controller because the touch buttons, usually the buttons are in the way of your gameplay. But with having the touch buttons on a different part of the display, you're actually not hindered in any way, shape or form. So we're just starting off things nice and easy with Tetris, nothing too intense or strenuous, and obviously the touch controls are nice and easy with this. So of course I had to throw in some Pokemon in there. Here we're playing Pokemon Crystal. This is obviously a Game Boy Color game, and again, nothing too intense, but having the controls on a separate part of the screen means I can just look at the screen and not really worry about getting my hands in the way, and I can just see everything. So now we're going to try out something that's going to be a bit more demanding on the touch controls. We've got some RType Delta. So if the touch controls were on top of the screen, that would make this an absolute nightmare to play. But again, because I can see everything that's going on quite comfortably, although me multitasking isn't really going that well, but you get the general idea. And it's actually quite comfortable to hold as well, which was a nice, pleasant surprise. But as you've seen, the Flip is running these games pretty comfortably. As you'd expect, it's running the Snapdragon 888 processor. So this sort of thing should be absolute child's play. So we're going to move on to the console that actually inspired this video, and that's the Game Boy Advance, specifically the Game Boy Advance SP edition. So one thing I found really cool is being able to change the position of your screen. So if you want it as far away from your buttons, you can do so, or if you prefer to be your hands to be a little bit close to the action, then you can bring it down. Obviously you can bring it down off your buttons, but that doesn't make any sense. But for me, I like it right up the top, so I'm just going to leave it there. And let's get into some Metroid Prime. So again, obviously this is running on the Game Boy Advance. The first thing that kind of stands out to me though about running this on the Game Boy Advance is obviously the shoulder buttons are on the screen, and the fingers I'd usually press for the shoulder buttons are up here. So I imagine for a lot of games that's going to be very much a challenge. But again, this game's running really nicely. And although the screen is small, I would say, I mean, it's about the same sort of size as the original console it was played on, and it's big enough. These games were designed around small screens, so you can see everything you need to see. And again, I come to the part that I can never get past. I know she can roll. How the hell you roll is beyond me. Someone in the comments, please let me know how you roll so I can get underneath here. Anyway, on to the next game. So we got a cheeky bit of Zelda. This is a Minish Cap. I must say I haven't played this one before. But one thing I do notice about Zelda games, they always start with him being asleep. Lazy guy. But any RPG type games or any games where there's not intense action going on the screen where you need to react quickly, I would say this is absolutely perfect for a bit of Pokemon, a bit of Zelda, one of the older Final Fantasy games. Absolutely perfect. Now we are going to push the limitations of these controls just a bit in the next game, so keep an eye out for that. Okay, this is boring, let's move on. So I said we were going to push controls a little bit, so let's give some Street Fighter 2 a go. The question is, growing up, were you Ryu or were you Ken? So the challenge is going to be, can I pull off a Hadouken? And I can. And a Dragon Punch, let's go. So the controls aren't the best, but I'm pulling off moves. And I just got dizzied. And I just got bodied. Anyway, so it's kind of possible to play fighting games, but I definitely would not recommend it. So this last one was just a bit of fun, but there are definitely games that are suited to this form factor. So I think it's fair to say the Z Flip 3 is adequate for basic game emulation using the touchscreen controls. Obviously, if you're not a fan of the touchscreen controls, you do always still have the option to connect a Bluetooth controller. And because of the form factor of the phone, you can just prop it down pretty much anywhere. You don't need a stand or a tripod or anything like that. So I'm going to give the Z Flip 3 a solid 8 out of 10. Well, that's enough from me. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a like down below. That will go ahead and tell YouTube that this is a decent video and show it to other people who might like it as well. But with that being said, my name is Antoine, this is ATM Tech, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.